Close to Famous, Chapter 3. I heard a rumble and a roar and sat up fast. Had I been sleeping? "What in the world?" Mama said. The sun beamed through the windows of the Chevy. A wide-faced woman smiled and waved at us. "You are two lucky ladies. Another inch and you'd have been, well," she shook her head and pointed down. I looked out my side of the car. The Chevy had stopped us close to the side of a cliff as a car could without tumbling off. Mama grabbed my hand. "We're not going to panic." "I am." The wide-faced woman said, "Don't worry, you're in the hands of Gotcha Towing." She was standing by a tow truck, wearing a red shirt with white lettering that I couldn't make out. "We're going to nudge up to your car a little bit and yank you out of there. Put her in neutral, nice and easy." She slapped the side of the tow truck. "All right, Lester, do your magic." I held my breath. The tow truck backed up slowly. The woman attached a big chain to the front of the Chevy. "Gotcha!" she shouted at us. "Hold on tight now." Mama held my hand so tight I thought it might break, and the strength of that truck moved us out of danger. "Okay, girls, you're clear." Mama's hands were shaking as she pulled me across the driver's seat and out of the car. "Somebody was watching over you," the woman said. "These mountain roads get nasty." "Thank you kindly for what you did." Mama touched her swollen eye. "That's what we're here for. I'm Kitty. That handsome thing in the truck is my Lester." Kitty was looking at Mama's bad eye. "That's a decent bruise you've got there." "I'm all right." "Where are you folks headed?" "Obviously a little too close to the edge." Kitty laughed. "We all do that from time to time." "Where's the closest town?" Mama asked. "That's Culpeper, 20 minutes due north. Lester and I live there." I asked the big question. "You got any Elvis impersonators?" She laughed. "Not a one." I elbowed Mama. "We'll head up to Culpeper," Mama said. "But first I need to pay you." Kitty shook her head. "No charge." "Oh no, you saved us." "If you need towing or you know someone who does, you call us." She gave her a card. Mama asked her if she knew of a cheap place to stay. "There's a motel down from the prison." "Prison?" I elbowed Mama again. "Not too cheap, though," Lester said from the truck. "Maybe we should talk more about this prison." "The motel's on Route 1, just past the Arby's and Pizza Hut. We never had those places till that spankin' new prison came to town." "Pizza Hut's got Wednesday specials," Lester said. "Course, it's Thursday." "Hold on a minute." Kitty walked to Lester, and they started talking in a whisper. Then she came back. "Don't mean to pry, but in case you folks are trying to get back on your feet, we've got a—" Mama held up a proud hand. "We're fine." "No, we're not." Kitty seemed like she was going to say something else, but she didn't. She just tipped her baseball hat, walked to the tow truck, and jumped in. Lester waved, friendly. "Watch out for potholes. They're big and ugly around here." "Wait a minute." I ran to the Chevy, got the bacon take, and raced to the tow truck. "I made these myself. They're chocolate chip. Thank you for helping us." Kitty grabbed a muffin and took a bite. "Oh, honey, oh my, this is good." I handed the last muffin to Lester, who gobbled it in 2 bites. He wiped crumbs from his mouth. "Best thank you I've had in a long time." The big truck roared off down the road. I looked at the green valley below the hills. Yesterday I was making muffins. Today I almost drove off a cliff. Mama walked over and put her hand on my shoulder. "I'm sorry we had to leave the way we did, baby. How are you doing?" "I'm not sure." Mama looked out at the peaceful valley. All I could think about was getting out of there fast and making sure we were safe. I hope I did the right thing. Me too. The long, low gray building seemed to go on forever. It had a huge gate and a fence with curling razor wires. "That's the prison," Mama explained. I've never seen a prison before, unless you count 6th grade. Most of the cars on the road were turning into the gate. Mama said, "Those people work there, I imagine." I can't imagine working at a jail. Better than being in jail. I knew this boy Tucker back in Memphis. His daddy was in prison. I went to his house once. It seemed like Tucker and his mama were doing jail time too. There was a calendar in the kitchen, and they crossed off the days until his daddy got released. "He didn't do it," Tucker told me. "He's innocent." I was glad when the big fence with the curled wire stopped, and I didn't have to look at it anymore. I said a prayer for Tucker's daddy as a dirty truck rumbled past. "That's a coal truck," Mama explained. "Lots of coal in West Virginia." We drove by Arby's and Pizza Hut and saw the motel. Mama pulled into the motel parking lot and went inside to check the rates. She came back a minute later shaking her head. We'll find a better place. Driving through Culpeper didn't take long. I think the jail is bigger than the town. There was a broken-down factory that looked deserted, and then a gas station. There's Fish Hardware, Mama said. She drove past what looked like a little restaurant. I couldn't make out the sign, which was typical for me. She pointed. That's Angry Wayne's Bar and Grill. Angry Wayne's? Two red-headed boys ran around an empty lot, chasing something, laughing hard. Another boy, about my age, ran down the street. He was fast. He jumped over a low fence, then another one. Mama was smiling. My grandpa lived in a little town like this. It feels kind of sweet. Angry Wayne's doesn't sound sweet. It takes all kinds to make a town. Down the road was a small church boarded up. It had a big sign in front of it. I could pick out some of those words. Church of God, for sale. Church of God, for sale. Mama shook her head. Well, I never. Mama sang at lots of churches in Memphis and Nashville, but none of them were for sale. Precious Lord was my favorite because they had the best glazed donut holes during fellowship hour. Last Days Baptist had the best bathrooms, and I Am the Way Evangelical had the softest seats, but their candles didn't always stay lit. So there Mama would be, singing about the light coming into the world, and the candles would peter out. Culpeper didn't look like a place that needed a singer, or a kid who cooked her heart out and was dying to get discovered. A woman was planting flowers in front of the church and watering them from a can. She put her hands on her hips, glared at the Church of God for sale sign, and walked away like she was looking for a fight. Mama pulled into the gas station and went inside. That's when I saw Kitty standing by the gotcha towing truck, drinking a super-sized bottle of pop. I ran over. Hi! Well, hi there! What have you been up to? Driving. We went by the prison. You should see that thing at night. It gives off an unearthly glow. She made a face. It's changed our night sky, I'll tell you that. Change is part of life, Lester said from the truck. Where are you and your mama from? Memphis, and before that, Nashville. You move around a lot? I kicked a stone. Only since my daddy died. Sorry you've got that load. I told her how he was in the army and his helicopter got shot down. I've got a pillowcase from Las Vegas with his things in it. That's good to have. My Lester was in the army. Lester got out of the truck. He was bigger standing than he looked behind the wheel. His legs and arms were long. He had a beak nose like a bird. Where was your daddy stationed? Iraq. Lester nodded. Tough combat. Yes, sir. Mama walked up and Lester said to her, Ma'am, we've got a mobile home behind our place. It's got 2 beds. You and the child here could use it, no charge. I wasn't exactly a child, but a bed sounded good, and I was sick of being in the car. Mama looked down. We couldn't. It's got heat, water, and electric. Kitty and I can't bear to part with it. It might be smaller than you're used to, though. We only stay in small places, I mentioned. Mama shook her head. That's awful kind, Lester, but I'm Arby, too. Sergeant First Class. He stood a little taller. So you let us help you now. Lester walked back to the truck, got in, and added, We'd better get somebody to look at that eye.